Did you see the draw? Yes, I did. It's okay. Yes, it was amazing. It's been amazing, in this part of the world. The $10 million racket where a billionaire's fortune met a champion's heart has become a moment the world can't stop talking about. Welcome back to Court Eva Tennis, where we don't just cover matches, we uncover legends being written before our eyes. Forget everything you think you know about professional sports, the mega contracts, sponsorship deals, and athletes chasing every dollar. Because this story is extraordinary, powerful, and has both broken the internet and restored faith in humanity. Imagine winning the biggest match of your career. 20,000 fans chanting your name. Your body exhausted, muscles screaming, but your heart soaring. You're holding the racket that delivered the championship winning shot. And suddenly, a man approaches you. Not just anyone, but one of the wealthiest people on the planet whose net worth rivals the GDP of small nations. He looks you in the eye and offers $10 million not for an endorsement, not for a photo, but for the very racket in your hand, a piece of equipment you could replace for $250 at any store. What would you do? This isn't hypothetical. It happened yesterday. And the woman at the center of it all made a choice that has left the world speechless. This is the story of Alexandra Eala Sheikh Khaled Rashid, and a moment that reminds us that some things cannot be bought. Alexandra Eala isn't just another rising tennis player. She represents a nation's dreams. The fusion of raw talent and unbreakable determination. Growing up in the Philippines, a country where basketball dominates and tennis courts are rare, Eala could have chosen an easier path. But champions aren't born from easy choices. They're forged in the fires of relentless pursuit, grit, and unwavering heart. Shaped by adversity and countless hours of practice when no one was watching, Alexandra Eala was built from a discipline most people can't even fathom. From her earliest days, coaches recognized something special in this left-handed firecracker. It wasn't just her athleticism or competitive fire, though she had both in abundance. It was her mind. Tennis at the highest level is chess played at 100 miles per hour. And Eala possessed the strategic brilliance to see 3 shots ahead while executing the current one with surgical precision. She dominated the junior circuit with a ferocity that made seasoned players take notice, with Grand Slam junior titles falling like dominoes. Yet, anyone who follows tennis knows that the leap from junior success to professional dominance is where dreams often die. The bodies are stronger, the minds tougher, and the margin for error almost non-existent. Eala didn't just survive that transition. She thrived. Every tournament became a statement. Every victory proof that the girl from Manila could hang with the best in the world. Her left-handed forehand became legendary, whipping across the court with top spins so vicious that opponents looked like they were trying to return a missile. Her fighting spirit became the stuff of highlight reels, chasing down an athlete. She became a symbol. Every time she stepped on court wearing the flag on her sleeve, she carried the hopes of millions. Young girls across Southeast Asia saw her and thought, if she can do it, maybe I can too. Coming into this tournament, the whispers had grown into roars. Analysts were calling it her breakout moment. The draw had been brutal, yet she carved through it like a hot knife through butter. Each match more impressive than the last. The rankings were about to shift, and the sponsorship offers were beginning to pour in. Sponsorship offers were flooding in, and everything was building towards something extraordinary, though no one yet knew just how extraordinary it would become. While Eala prepared for the biggest match of her life, something unusual was unfolding in the VIP section. Security was tighter than usual, and the entire luxury box had been reserved by a single party, an occurrence almost unheard of at a tennis tournament. Rumors spread through the crowd like wildfire. Sheikh Khaled al-Rashid was in the building. For casual fans, the name might not mean much, but among the world's wealthiest power brokers and industry titans, he was legendary. Forbes estimates his fortune north of $50 billion, though insiders say that's conservative. His empire stretches across continents and industries. Oil wells pumping liquid gold from the desert. Real estate holdings spanning entire city blocks in London, Paris, and New York. Tech investments that made him a major player in Silicon Valley and a private aviation company serving only other billionaires. He didn't just have money, he wielded a kind of wealth that could reshape reality itself. And everywhere he went, stories of his influence followed. Stories of Sheikh Khalid al-Rashid's lifestyle circulate like modern folklore. The time he bought a hotel because he didn't like the view from his suite only to have the building across the street demolished. His fleet of cars, each more absurd than the last, including a gold-plated Bugatti worth more than most people earn in 10 lifetimes. The private island where he breeds racing falcons more valuable than luxury apartments. Yet, for all his eccentricities, he isn't merely a caricature of wealth. By most accounts, he is a man of genuine culture, a strict but loving father, one who shuns publicity, rarely gives interviews, and runs his empire with an iron fist wrapped in a velvet glove. So, why was he at a tennis tournament watching a match featuring a young Filipino player barely known to casual fans? The answer lies in his daughter Aisha al-Rashid, who, unlike many in her position, is private. Eala said, "But if it can bring a smile to your daughter's face, support has given me strength. You cannot buy this from me." The crowd fell silent. Shah Khalid's expression was unreadable. "I will not take your $10 million, Eala declared, a smile breaking across her face like sunrise. "But I will give this to Aisha not as a purchase, not as a transaction, but as a gift from one fighter to another. Tell her it's not the racket that wins the match. It's the girl who wields it holding the racket." Eala turned to Aisha and said. Eala didn't just hand over the racket. She signed the grip tape, whispered something private that cameras couldn't catch, and embraced Aisha in a real heartfelt hug, the kind that carries genuine human connection. The stadium descended into chaos. People were crying, grown men, openly weeping, and even the titan of industry stood with his hand over his mouth, eyes glistening, approaching Eala, humbled and almost speechless. He finally said, "I have spent my entire life making deals. I thought I understood value. You have taught me I understood nothing." He tried to offer donations to her foundation, her team, or tennis programs in the Philippines, but Eala shook her head, smiled, and walked off the court. The standing ovation lasted over 5 minutes. Spectators couldn't stop clapping or crying because they had witnessed something rare in modern sports. Someone choosing values over value, meaning over money, humanity over economics. Within minutes, the moment ignited a digital wildfire. The clip went viral. Not just viral but break the internet viral, trending worldwide. The hashtag #Prickless capturing the awe of millions. Social media groaned under the traffic. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone wanted to share it. And remarkably, in an era of constant disagreement, the consensus was nearly universal. One Twitter user at TennisFan999 wrote, "I used to watch Alex for her forehand. Now I watch her for her heart. $10 million turned down. That's not just tennis. It's humanity. Sportsmanship. That's royalty. That's queen behavior." One Twitter user declared. Business Insider chimed in. "In an era where athletes chase the biggest contracts and sports have become pure commerce, Alexandra just reminded us that values still exist. The most expensive racket offer in history was just given away for free, and somehow everyone involved became richer. The most powerful social media moment, however, came from an unexpected source. The official corporate account of the billionaire's business empire, usually reserved for dry announcements and quarterly earnings. It posted simply, "Today I learned that the greatest things in life truly cannot be bought. Thank you, Alexandra. You have given my daughter something more valuable than gold, more precious than oil, more powerful than any currency. You have given her hope." Sports journalists scrambled for historical parallels. Muhammad Ali refusing the draft. Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, moments where athletes transcended their sport to become symbols of something larger. The consensus quickly formed. This was one of those moments. Marketing experts analyzed the ripple effects. Brand valuation specialists ran the numbers. What Eala lost in immediate cash, she gained exponentially in global recognition and respect. Her value as a spokesperson, a brand ambassador, a role model had skyrocketed beyond any single endorsement deal. But beyond the metrics and headlines, something deeper was happening. In an age of cynicism, where every gesture is suspected of a hidden motive, where authenticity is so rare, we've almost forgotten what it looks like. Eala's action cut through the noise. It reminded the world that integrity, humanity, and heart still have their place, even on the grandest stages of sport. What happened on that court was pure. It was real. It reminded people why they loved sports in the first place. And the story didn't end with a viral moment. It was just beginning. Within 48 hours, the ripple effects reached across continents and industries. True to the spirit of Eala's gesture, the billionaire made an anonymous donation to tennis development programs in the Philippines, reportedly exceeding the original $10 million offer. The funds went toward building new courts in underserved communities, providing equipment and coaching for promising young players, and establishing scholarships for athletes from low-income families. But he didn't stop there. Additional anonymous contributions supported children's hospitals across Asia, funding music, art, and sports therapy programs designed to give kids like his daughter Aisha something to fight for and believe in during dark times. Aisha herself became more public, giving a rare interview in which she spoke about how Eala's matches inspired her to fight for every day. "When I hold that racket now," she said, her voice soft but strong, "I don't see a piece of equipment. I see every point Alex fought for, every impossible shot she made. Every time she fell and got back up, it reminds me that I can do the same." The racket, never displayed publicly, remains in Aisha's room, being used to practice a living symbol of perseverance, exactly as Eala intended. For Eala, the aftermath has been transformative yet complicated. Her social media following exploded. Sponsorship offers poured in at an overwhelming pace, but she remained focused. Through her publicist, she released one statement: "I did what felt right for Eala. The impact of that moment was right in my heart. Nothing more, nothing less." And then just 2 weeks later, she was back on the practice court, grinding, declining interviews and photos, letting the moment speak for itself while moving forward. But the tennis world had changed its view of her. She was no longer just a promising young player. She had become a leader, a role model, an athlete who reminded everyone why they fell in love with sports in the first place. Fellow players spoke out in support, and veterans who had toured for decades said they had never seen anything like it. When asked about it, Rafael Nadal paused before saying, "This is what we should all aspire to be." Eala understood something most people take a lifetime to learn. Tennis, or any sport, isn't just about winning. It's about what we represent. Federations around the world adopted her story into youth programs, and Play Like Eala became a rallying cry not for technical skill but for character. But what truly makes this story resonate even with those who don't follow tennis is what it says about our modern world. We live in a culture obsessed with putting a price on everything, success measured in dollars. Human achievement reduced to market value. Athletes as brands, moments as content, everything a transaction. When Shah Khaled walked onto that court and offered $10 million, he quantified inspiration, tried to purchase connection. Think of Aisha. If Eala had accepted the $10 million, the racket could still have been given as a gift, but it would have been a purchase, one more thing Daddy's money bought. By refusing, Eala transformed the racket into something priceless, a symbol of meaning, of connection, of human spirit that transcends currency. The incident sparked a global conversation about values in professional sports. Some economists argued Eala's decision was financially irrational. $10 million invested could generate hundreds of thousands in passive income or fund charitable works far beyond a single gesture. They weren't entirely wrong, but they were missing the point.